So, like many of you listening right now, I find this modern age utterly surreal. And here's a good example of that. I find it surreal that Trump would have to make a statement like this, that a statement like this would be necessary in the first place. Everything that he's going to say in this video, the basics of it would have been universally agreed upon not that long ago. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, everybody, including liberals, would have agreed on this because it's just common sense. A statement like this wouldn't have been necessary and would have seemed, paranoid, I guess. But not anymore. Let's take a look.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. A process that includes giving kids puberty blockers, mutating their physical appearance, and ultimately performing surgery on minor children. Can you believe this? I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age.
See where I'm getting at here? How did we get to a place where this is necessary? Giving children, young children, that Chloe Cole, who's now suing the people that transitioned her, she was 13 when they put her on hormone blockers. She was 15 when they gave her a double mastectomy. Yes, a double mastectomy at 15, as if a child can possibly consent, can possibly have informed consent for that. The puberty blockers alone are chemically castrating children who can't possibly give informed consent. Again, it is surreal that this speech is even needed, but let's continue.
Federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. I will declare that any hospital or healthcare provider that participates in the chemical or physical mutilation of minor youth will no longer meet federal health and safety standards for Medicaid and Medicare and will be terminated from the program immediately. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. We will all.
And this will be described as, over the top and heavy-handed and extreme and draconian, as if it's heavy-handed or just extreme or draconian to ban child abuse, which is what this is. Anyway, let's continue.
Investigate whether Big Pharma or others have illegally marketed hormones and puberty blockers, which are in no way licensed or approved for this use. My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for sex discrimination and the elimination of federal funding. As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parent's consent. The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership,
Actually, he is wrong there. It was invented decades ago by a psychopath.
this madness will end. Thank you very much.
So there's nothing that he said in that diverges from biological reality. And of course, the media will attack him over this and spout out a bunch of hysterical nonsense. But again, there's nothing that he said that diverges from reality at all. And I think that the more that people understand what this gender-affirming treatment actually means, and I'm talking about just the normal people, the regular people that are living their lives, and they don't have a lot of time for politics, but the more that they understand what all of this actually means, the more this is going to become a winning message. Because the people that actually understand and support radical gender theory are still a fringe minority. Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.